Stephanie Braids and Weaves. This is our very first hair tutorial on YouTube. I'm so happy, we finally decided to, give YouTube a try. And I can bring some of the things that I've learned throughout the 35 years of me braiding hair. Now I'm braiding my daughter's hair right here. As you guys can see, this kid has a lot of hair. And what am I using on her hair is, like I said in the first video, I'm using Summit Live on her hair. And I keep her hair oiled a lot because where we stay in the high deserts, and the climate is very, very drying out here. So when I braid my clients' hair, I put lots of oil in their hair to make sure that, their hair does not dry out when they get their hair braided. When they're wearing their hair, unless they wash their hair, or swim, that's when, oil gonna need to be reapplied to the braid or to their scalp again. I'm also, as I braid, going towards the end of her hair, I'm applying the So Real Edge Control to keep her hair encased into the braid. I started using this about 3 years ago, and to keep my client's hair encased into the braid. I've been using So Real for about 3 years now. In the past, I only used oil, but I find that the So Real really works really good in keeping that very tip ends. Even if the hair is bluntly cut, it keeps it encased into the braid, and I really like that. But yeah, I'm braiding her hair and everything, and I'm showing you guys the brick lay technique, and laying your braids. We at the nape of her hair, so I call that mid-ear section of her hair. So when I go to the very top, it's going to be to the top of her ear, and I'm going to make the next row parting at the very top of her ear. So we're braiding along here. Yes, I think these braids kind of hit her a little bit below her behind. So we definitely, she likes them long, yeah. So we're about to start our second parting right here. So in a nape area, it's going to be three braids in the nape area. So I'm starting on my second braid, I'm sorry, correction. And I want you guys to watch how I weave the hair through her hair. And that's the reason why you don't need rubber bands. If you properly know how to weave that hair through the hair, you won't need rubber bands at all to braid large block partings. There I go, weaving the extension through her hair. And it looks more or less like I'm French braiding her hair, but I'm really not. I'm just taking from the top, the side, and the other side, like 3 sections of her hair, and I'm braiding it through, which lays that extension right onto her scalp. And once again, as I braid down, I add a little bit more oil. And I will add the edge control at the very ends of her hair. I don't really like adding it all the way through the hair, because sometimes it makes the hair stick together, and it makes the hair feel like it's stuck, where you can't braid through it, or real stiff to the point that you can't braid through it. So that's why I only like to put it like towards the ends of the hair. Now braid it all the way down to the very tip end. I'm sorry, you guys, that I couldn't give you guys that part. because of the way I had the camera set up and the way I was positioned and she was positioned. It was kind of hard to show you all the way down to the very end. But towards the end of the video, I will show you the full length of the braids. Now I'm still braiding along because that braid is really long. Okay, just completed those 2 braids, as you can see. Now I'm about to start on the 3rd braid. This particular part, I kind of slowed this part down so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I didn't want to, you know, speed this part up. So be thank you for being patient, you know, especially with this part. I'm getting another piece of hair. You know, some braiders, you know, they already have their hair already done, but you know, I've been doing it the way I've been doing it for, you know, over 35 plus years. So I really just keep how I do things, you know, going along, you know, because for me it's much easier that way. You know, only time I separate the hair is when I'm doing feeder braids, and then I'll separate the hair then. But, you know, braids, large braids like this in individuals, I really don't. I don't separate the hair. As we are braiding along all the way down. And then when I get to the tip ends of her hair, I'm going to apply some more oil. And then when I get to the very end, then I'm going to put the So Real Edge Control in it to keep her hair sealed into the braid. I mean, this style was very durable for her. She kept this style in for a very, very long time. Sometimes we'll stretch it to 4 months, and what I would do is redo her edge line again, and then what I would do is put more oil, keep oil in her scalp and everything, so these can last. These were wonderful, especially during COVID. You know, didn't have to wrestle with her hair because her hair is extremely thick. And I mean, it's hard to wash, it's hard to detangle, it's hard to, you know, press. I really don't flat iron her hair because I flat ironed her hair one time, and then I looked at her ends and she had split ends at her ends, so I vowed never to flat iron her hair again. I keep her hair very simple. Like if she's wearing her hair down for a period of time, I'll wash it and I'll braid it up really, really tight. With her natural hair, I'll braid her natural hair really, really tight, and I just let her wear it wavy. And it's such a cute style when she wear her hair wavy, because she wear a wavy ponytail or she'll wear it down wavy, and it lasts. You know, because like I say again, we live in a very, very dry climate, and I really had to protect her hair. Okay, you guys, I'm about to start the second row And I'm going to part upper ear to the tip of her ear. That's where the next parting is going to start. Trying to get through all that hair. She has a lot of hair. She was born with a lot of hair. The nurse told me he was like, all I feel is hair. Now I'm applying the live to her hair. And you see I use a generous amount of live when I apply it to her hair. And I do all my clients that way too, generous amount. And that way I can part the hair straight. You see, I'm not using any comb. I'm parting her hair straight with a clip and not a comb. She's really tender-headed, so she was being a little jumpy when I was doing her hair. I was like, you can't do all that jumping. I'm filming you on camera. Okay, I'm applying the live again. I'm saturating her hair with the live. Okay, right here, I'm going to do 4 partings to show you guys how I inlay the braids in between the braids. You're going to see me do that now. Yeah, that's 3 braids I'm showing you now. Watch me as I part. I part in between that first braid, like half between that very first braid. That's how you do your inlay for the bricklay. Back in the day, we used to call these block braids instead of box braids. That's what we used to call them back in the day. Block braids. But now they're called box braids. Like I tell everybody, there's nothing new under the sun. Now see how I have those pieces of hair? They inlay in between each parting. So I made 4 braids. See how they lay in? Four braids. They lay into the 3 braids. So that's how you do the bricklay pattern. So I'm also going to show you once I get up to the top. Like right there, I'm showing you how the mid-ear to upper ear is going to be your mid-ear is going to be your first nape parting. Upper ear is going to be your second row parting. Once again, I'm showing you how the braids inlay in between each other. by her hair being so thick, sometimes her knots don't lay super flat, but I'll get them in there. I'm about to start her third row, and you see I took a larger parting section because I want these braids to be big. I'm not trying to do no kind of small braids in her hair. Now, by her ear, that's where the first braid, her upper part of her ear, where her ears start, that's where I'm gonna lay the first braid. And with larger braids to the ear, there's the larger braids will be 2. And then when you go medium, it's 3. Then when you go small, it's 4. So I'm going to show you guys that real soon. Hopefully within the next couple of months, I can show you how to do the brick lay on medium and then smaller braids. I'm weaving the hair through her hair. This way she do not need rubber bands on her hair at all. I tell my clients, let the hair, settle in and give it about 2 to 3 weeks before you pull it up in a high ponytail. I never really pull her hair up in ponytails. We only bring the braids back off her face. Maybe the first roll of braids, we'll take it and we'll pull it back, and then we'll tie a scrunchie around it. She's doing a lot of grimacing here, but it's not hurting her at all. She's just making those facial expressions. I told her, watch your face, because I'm going to have to put you on camera, little girl. So right here, I'm going to do 4 braids because I'm going to, next time, angle the camera much better where you guys can really see all the way around her head. So this is my very first braid tutorial. So, I'm still a work in progress trying to learn how to maneuver the camera. I wish I could have got all the way to the end so you guys could have really seen how long her braids are. Okay, I'm about to start the second braid. So the second braid is going to be inlaid. You see how I do that? Now normally, like I said, when I do like medium-sized individuals, the partings are smaller. But it's 3 rows, it's 3 braids from the ear, and then smaller braids is 4 braids into the ear. That's how I inlay the brick lay. Which, like I say again, I'm going to show you guys that very, very, very soon. Once again, you see how I pick up the hair? I pick up the hair sturdy, and then I apply the extension. I don't use I use tension, but I don't use so much tension until the point that it's hurting the client at all. My clients are used to the way I braid. Some of them fall asleep when I braid their hair. So I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I don't pull their hair too tight. But just enough tension to get that braid through their hair. And once again, I'm braiding their hair down. And once I get to the very end of her hair, I'm going to apply the So Real and just a little bit extra oil, and then the So Real. And once again, like I say, you don't need rubber bands, because like my daughter's hair is thick to the extreme. And I don't put rubber bands on her hair at all. I don't put rubber bands on really none of my clients' hair when I do their goddess braids. Okay, now I'm gonna inlay the third braid into those two braids at the bottom. See how much her hair, it's like her hair, it gets even thicker in the mid to the crown. Her crown, oh my God, that's so much hair in her crown. So that's why I do the jumbo goddess braids on her hair, because it's easier. Then the hair, you know, blends in, you know, with her hair. And also the hair that I use I'm using on her hair is the Rasta Free hair. Because it's more coarse, and it looks exactly how pressed hair how her hair looks now. And before, you know, I say something else, I was showing you how I hold the hair and how I split it in three. I've been doing it that way for years. I just split the hair in three and apply the extension. I'm making sure her hair is completely encased in the braid. I didn't want to speed this up too fast. I didn't want to rush it at all, because I want you guys to see exactly what I'm doing here. I never really thought to try to do the knotless braids on her hair, because her hair is coarse, and those knotless braids, I don't think on my child hair is gonna last. So I'd rather do it this way, but one day I might try you know, to do the knotless on her hair to see how it comes out, to see if I like it on her hair. But I really like, because everybody that, you know, when we go out, it's so funny. Caucasian people come up to her and actually think that's her hair. And I just laugh. But to say this, it damn near is, because her hair length is so long. It's like I braid her hair, I say her hair length down to the end of the braid, maybe 3 to 4 inches left at the end of the braid. That is extension hair. So when they see her, they come up to me and say, "Oh, wow, I love her hair." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." Because it looks so natural. I never really like using really straight extension hair. I really don't like the extension hair that's that 3-in-1. You know, like when my clients bring me, I will braid it in their hair. But my preference is Rasta free. My preference is Rasta free that comes in the yellow and green, or the more coarser Rasta free that comes in the purple and yellow packages. I most rather that hair, you know, to braid with. Once again, I'm applying a little extra oil to her hair. And the braids, these two braids are just a tad bit larger than all the rest of the braid. Well, the top portion of her hair, the mid portion, is going to be a little bit thick because this kid's hair, oh my goodness, is so thick. And like I said, I don't part her hair in small partings at all. I make them really big because I can imagine doing her hair in smaller braids. And like I say, you know, this style pretty much lasts, you know, 2 months before it starts really looking bad. But sometimes we're just stuck in the house because she's homeschooled. And we're stuck in the house. I don't have too many places to go. She'll keep it in a little bit longer than that. I'm just showing you the inlay. Now we're about to start on her, which would be her 4th row. And around the edge line, I often make the braids just a hair smaller than when I'm braiding like around the whole edge line, from the nape all the way around her edge line. I make those braids just a hair smaller. And it all blends in. You can't tell the difference, you know, it all blends in once it's done. Because those are the braids that we normally, we'll pull those back. Her whole front part of her edge line, we'll pull it, you know, back, and then to her mid crown and put a scrunchie on it. Loosely, of course. Yeah, I wanted you guys to see exactly how I braid and how I apply the extension. The next tutorial, I believe I'm going to try either the twist braids, because there is a different way I twist. You know, I learned how to twist root to end years ago. I've been twisting root to end ever since, I say, back in 1993. I've been doing twist braids, cornrow twist, and all of the above. I do it all. But I taught myself how to do it in a way to where the twists are more fuller in the hair. Because with twists, you know, since they folded in, you can kind of see the scalp. So I created a way where you cannot see the scalp. I twist a totally different way. So that video, I'm gonna show you guys that video soon. I might just wait till I get my subscribership up and then show that particular video, because I taught myself that, you know. That's the tricks of the trade of being a hairstylist. Sometimes you get in there and you discover new things, you do new things, and you create new things. Now you see how the brick lay is laying. I love this technique because the braids lay flat. They're not real big and they're not bulky. They're smooth and flat, and they lay into the partings. I love that. One of my clients told me, she was like, I love my hair so much because people, when they go in it, they be like, it looks full, but it doesn't feel full. And I'm like, yeah, that's because of the brick lay, how it lays into the parting. Now, I also do the piece by piece individuals when I take scoop pieces of the hair and braid it. I do that also. That's, a long time, but I can pretty much get through that within 7 hours. Full head, smaller size. I'm going to show you guys that. I learned that technique a long time ago. When I was braiding in a shop in LA, the young lady, that's the only way she wanted us to braid her client's hair was the piece by piece technique. And you can also do the piece by piece technique with larger braids too. And I also like how that lays too. I really like how that lays too. Not so much with the larger braids, but more or less with the smaller braids. I love the way that lays. It just take a minute to do. Like the whole total time it took me to do my baby's hair was 2 hours. And we were done. There I go again, weaving the hair into the braid. Or I should say into her hair. Correction. And another thing I want to speak about is finger pressure. Now, I'm not going to give my age, but like I said, I've been braiding for 35 plus years. And my longevity in not getting carpal tunnel is how I use my fingers as instruments. And I know how to use my finger pressure. Even though that braid looks super tight, I'm braiding lightly. I'm braiding her hair lightly. I'm not braiding it. Now, when I start in the beginning, I apply a little pressure to make sure the extension is weaved through her hair. But as I go further down, I'm lightening up my pressure a lot. Because that's how you get carpal tunnel, trying to braid too fast, braiding too tight, and not lightening up your finger pressure when you braid hair. Please understand that your fingers are instruments. You know, people that type, that's on the computer all the time and they get carpal tunnel, you know. And so you're doing repetitive motion for hours sometimes. So you gotta take care of your hands. How I do it sometimes, you know, if I'm really busy one month, I'll take a whole week off to rest. You know, sometimes I'll take 2 weeks off, just depending on how much, you know, revenue I bring in for that month. I will take 2 weeks off. Because believe it or not, I love making money. But your health is very important. Because I used to braid sometime like 3 and 4 heads in a day. Which, you know, like I say, my fingers can go forever. You know, I never had an issue with, you know, my fingers. The only thing I had an issue with is my back, and I have double sciatica for standing and braiding hair for so many years. But my fingers can keep going forever. But I take care of my hands. I make sure I take my downtime. I make sure I take it. And I don't try to braid. Now that I'm older, I don't try to do no more than 2 heads in a day. Now, if it's simple styles like cornrows or whatever, I'll pack 3, sometimes 4 in there. But for the most part, if there's individuals, I will do two heads a day. Now, in the span of individuals, you know, there's, you know, the synthetic individuals or the Kaale individuals, and then there's the human hair individuals also. In those, you know, human hair takes, you know, longer because the hair fiber is much more slipperier. They say it's human hair, but it really isn't. It's a synthetic blend mixed with animal hair. And when I told a client, she was bragging about how she paid $150 on a human hair. I'm like, honey, that is not real human hair. Because the real human hair goes into the thousands. I would say hundreds to the thousands. Because out here we have Extensions Plus. They've been around for years. I don't know if they're still there. We have Giovanni's. And we have his and her. Now, Giovanni and Extension Plus been around for decades. All the celebrities especially go to Extensions Plus in LA. So, you know, that hair, you know, I used to, I had this white client and she used to love me putting extensions in her hair. And I would put extensions in her hair and everything. And one roll of her extensions was $350 for just one roll. And it was custom to her head. So, you know, real human hair really costs. And I'm going to do, you know, a vlog about that, the different hair and everything, and educate you guys on hair. I'm so excited about doing this because, you know, this has been in my spirit for about 3 years. You know, my very first YouTube video was 9 years ago. And I never did really pick it up because I'm so busy in doing hair. So I never really picked it up. But now that I'm slowing down some and I'm about to go into retirement, I was like, let me start putting the things that I know how to do onto YouTube to bless others. Especially, like I say again, you beginner braiders, you know, you starting off and you want to learn different techniques to grow your business. And I am here for you. You subscribe, you hit that like button, and you put a comment down there. Just let me know what you want me to teach about, what you want me to chat about, or reveal to you guys about braiding hair. And I will definitely be there for you guys. But I've been braiding hair for, like I said, 35 plus years. And I worked in like 3 salons. Image of Africa, Braids by Sabrina. And then I worked at another salon on Crenshaw years ago. I can't quite remember its name. But it was right on Crenshaw, right next to Cooley's. I think that was Jamaican food. I used to work there years ago. And I'll tell you the story about that too. How I ended up down there, braiding hair down there from the Antelope Valley. Yeah, I'm putting them braids in this little girl's hair. We almost done. That is the almost the second to the last row. Once again, I want you guys to see how I weave that hair. I have total control of the base of her head. My head is right at the base of that braid. I have control over the hair as I braid it down. Now, the difference between the roster free that comes in the purple pack, it is more coarser. So I like to braid that into my child's hair because it's more coarse. It'll more or less look like her hair. It's a straight coarse look. Then the roster free that comes in a yellow and green package, it's more straight, it's more silky, but it still has a texture to it. Because back in the day, Black and Gold used to sell hair that came in a silver package, silver and gold package. And that hair was so slick, straight. I used to hate when my clients bought me that hair because I would be looking at them like, this is not the texture of your hair. Why do you want to buy braids that's super slick, straight like this? I used to hate that hair. So I tell my clients to get the roster free brand. I also, you know, with the braids, you know, that 3-in-1 braid hair is cheap. It's cheap hair. Everybody, oh, I like it. That hair is cheap hair, you know. But they marked up the price on that hair to like damn near almost $8.99 for a pack of that hair. But it's really cheap hair. Like when I braid it all the way down to the end, it unravels. But when I braid roster free down to the end, it doesn't unravel. It stays still. It stays in place. Now, I made a decision to bring that particular braid to the back because the top row, I'm going to inlay 3 braids in the top row. So the very first braid in the top row is going to be inlaid into the parting of the very, I would say the first 2 braids in the front of her hair. And it all gonna neatly fall in together. Like when she put on her scarf tonight and she tie her hair down, her hair will stay laid in that pattern. That's why I braid her hair in that pattern. And like when I'm done with her hair, I don't dip her hair all the way up to her, you know, hair. I only dip the tip ends of the hair, like the 3 to 4 inches that I've left at the end, because her hair is so long. Her hair is almost waist length, so I don't dip her hair all the way because her hair will frizz at the end. And once again, as I braid down, I'm adding the So Real edge control to keep her ends sealed into the braid. And like I said, this only took me between 2 to 2.5 hours to complete. Regular individuals take me between 4 to 6 hours. Sometimes 7 if the person hair is thick. Human hair individuals take between 6 to sometimes 8 to 10 hours, depending on how small the client wants their braids. And we're about to do the very last row. Now you see how I'm parting it? Yeah, I'm parting it in between the braid. Like, get that hair on my face. See how long them braids are. This is our very last row. And I'm putting edge control and a summit live into her hair. Saturating it into her hair. I hate, guys, that I showed y'all only one side of her head, but that's how the camera, allowed me to, angle it. I apologize for that. I'm going to try to find new ways of how to angle the camera to where, or use two cameras to where you can get both sides. But it's the same on the other side. I just have a part on the other side, and it's most heaviest to the right side. And once again, I'm using oil. And then at the very end of her hair, I'm going to use the So Real to encase her hair in there. And now as you see this braid, I am braiding this braid along her edge line. So this braid is just a hair smaller than the other braids. The top of her hair is just, to the mid part of her hair is just thick to the extreme. She making all them faces. Yeah, I am braiding it all the way down to the end. The Summit Live, it disappears in the hair. It doesn't stay white for long. It disappears. Now you see how that braid is gonna go in. Gonna lay in between those two braids. I wanted to show you guys that even if you kind of go off the brick lay pattern, by the third row being brick laid perfectly, if you go to the top, those braids are gonna fall in. The parting's perfect, so don't worry if you lose your your partings or whatever. They kind of don't match up. They'll be okay because they're gonna lay in. I promise you that. Because everybody's head is different. Some people hair, I can do this brick lay on and it brick lays perfect. Other people, it might be off a little bit, but that's okay. As long as you get the gist of this, you'll have it down pat. It just takes time and practice. That's how I end up becoming such a good braider, because I will just practice a lot because I have like 6 sisters. And so I would do all of their hair. So a lot of styles that I would do and come out with, I would do it on their hair first. And then, give it to the public. Especially my sister that I was talking about, Jaima. I used to braid her hair in so many different things. We used to do hair shows too. And people used to be amazed at the things. And some of those pictures, I'm going to see if I can find them so I can show them on YouTube. We used to have a ball. I used to make the braided hats and everything. So I'm gonna see if I can upload those pictures to show you guys. And we almost done. We only got one more braid left. And once again, I love this because, you know, she's not sitting in a chair all day long. 2 hours to 2.5 hours. That's it. From the point of me braiding it, me kind of clipping the little frizzies at the tail end of her hair, and dipping it. 2.5 hours. She's out the chair. That's why I don't think I would ever put her hair in smaller braids, ever. The goddess braids will forever be her braid style. If the braid styles ever change, she will forever be wearing goddess braids. Last braid. In the next video, I'm gonna show you guys correctly how I do the hair in 3. Because some people take the hair, pull it apart, and then lay the hair over it to make the third, you know, the third section, but I don't. I just do the hair in 3. And as you braid, it balances itself out. Because that's how when you see people braids that come out crooked, is because the hair is off balance. They need to balance, and sometimes with your fingertips you can feel the hair being off balance. And there's another trick to the trade too that I have. Even if my braid came off balance, what I do is lighten up on my finger pressure, and it comes out all the same. But that's something that you have to learn over time, being in somebody's head, to know how to do all of that, because it's definitely an art to braiding hair. Definitely an art. Yay, the last braid. She's almost done. And like I say again, you guys, I'm definitely going to show you how to do the brick lay on smaller braids. I'm applying So Real again to keep her hair encased into the extension. I don't put it on her actual braids because I really don't like the way, like I say again, how it dries down and how it kind of look ashy in the hair. I just apply it to the ends and the edge line. Because I put so much oil in it, the ashiness, you don't see it. But if I did each of her braids partings with that So Real in it, I just don't like the way it looks. It makes her hair look old before it's time because it has that ashy gray look to it. But it's perfect for, you know, the ends, you know. And like I say, you know, when I put it around her edge line, I incorporate the summit live with it so it won't be so ashy looking. And we are done. Yay! And I know she's saying the same thing. I'm trying to get her to turn her face into the camera. She's got a little attitude. She just turned 13 and oh, that attitude. Yes, you guys, and we're done. So that is the brick lay technique. You see the part on the opposite side. On the left side of her head, she has a part. And there's the finished product. You guys, thanks for watching. And I'm going to bring you some good content on hair. Definitely next time I'm going to show you how to do the blocks and the smaller braids. Kind of lost my train of thought there, you guys. I'm sorry. And there she goes. It's done. It's done. I don't have to worry about her hair for at least a good 2 months. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.